Yeah, a boss.
Stop the music.
But I have to
stop the music.
Auzi, dar n-are muzică asta, nu? N-are muzică.
Everybody can sing? Everybody, it's okay?
Okay.
They are saying VIP.
Hello everybody. So now we will start a small presentation for you. It is about what means to be in Erasmus from our perspective that have been in Erasmus, and what advice can we give you. Also how to run between having fun and going to school, and what to visit here in Romania and in Bucharest. This is general information for you. I hope you'll enjoy it and you'll have something to use for your staying here. One question before starting. Who won the game? Who won the Erasmus bingo? Who's the winner? Congratulations. And congratulations.
Where is the camera?
So,
Christina.
it is said that only two things can change you. Okay. Which is falling in love and being in Erasmus. So we will not talk today about falling in love. Just to make sure you understand, we'll be talking about being in Erasmus and what will change you. First thing will change you will be the people, but you already know that, you've met today, and the experience with people was the first part of the meeting. Now let's go to the more theoretical part of Erasmus. It's Erasmus language. Let me tell you a story about an Italian girl that went in Erasmus. She didn't speak English, she only knew 5 words in English. So she was sitting at the bar in the club with other Erasmus, and some guy came to her and said, hi. She was like, hi, how are you? He's like, what town are you from? Down? No, what town are you from? What I lost? What? It was a language barrier that in the first day she could not surpass, but in the next 5 months she learned English better than me that I studied for 12 years. It is a very important chance for you people to learn a new language. English at first, because everybody speaks English, and secondly learn some Romanian. It is very important to learn some Romanian, and I know some of you already know, have taken some classes.
Hugo?
Yeah, Hugo here.
Hugo.
That word.
Yeah. No. Yes. We will make a test for one word. The word is dezbracă-te, and it's a very important word in Romania. It can save you. It can give you a lot of joy here. So let's make one test. Repeat after me. Dezbracă-te. Perfect. It means get naked. So take off your clothes. So you might have to use it someday.
The voice maybe.
Also, a very important language for Erasmus people, it's neighborian. It's a derivation from the word neighbor, which is the person next to you, the person that lives next to you in the dormitory or your classmates. It is very important to study another language except Romanian and English here, because it is one chance in a million that you'll get another chance in your country to do that. You will experience culture, accent, definitions, and so on. So if you have the chance, take advantage of it. Okay, the next part of the presentation is university versus fun. I know you all came here to study. Okay, I know you all came here to have fun, but it's important to have a balance between university and fun. Let me tell you a story about a teacher in Erasmus that went to class and there were only 4 or 5 people. And he asked one person, oh, what happened? Where are all the Erasmus? Are they traveling? And someone said, yeah, they are traveling in their dreams. Because they were tired after white nights and they didn't reach the class. So, let me tell you a small introduction about what you do in class. You will have group projects, you have the chance to meet Romanian students, to experience our cultural background and our study careers. Also, you'll have to make presentation like this one. You will be faced with a crowd, and you'll have to say what you've learned, and you'll explain your project. And you'll have exams, and I want to calm you down because exams are not very hard here. Teachers for Erasmus. Teachers understand you don't understand Romanian. Maybe you're not very good at English, so they will be very indulgent with you. So have no fear here. Also, for the fun part, always keep in mind that only once you're in Erasmus. This is a motto that you all should live by because it's true. Erasmus you live only once, and from my experience, I can say that it was the best time of my life. So when you will finish Erasmus, you will see for all of you that this will be true. Next, what you do in Romania will stay in Romania and will stay with you forever. So always when someone says, let's go to Africa, no, let's go to Moldova, which is in Romania, you will say, let's do it. Because in only 5 months or maybe 1 year, the country is big enough for you to visit, and I'm sure you will not see everything what they have to offer, but if you see the main points, you will be very fulfilled. Also, I have a challenge for you by the end of the Erasmus. If you manage to go into a Romanian family, to meet a person and go home, meet mother, father, grandmother, grandfather, you'll be surprised to know that maybe they live in the same house. And you see that tradition. In Romania, if you go to someone's house, you will go there the double size of what you came, because they fed you up until you almost die. So if someone gives you food, you don't say no. It's very impolite. So okay. Do you know what Romania has to offer? Do you know what you can find here? Can someone tell me a touristic objective, touristic point here? A castle? Yeah, that's good. Yeah. Yeah, there's seaside, there are mountains, there are castles, there are legends. Sibiu, yeah, old city. There are a lot of things to see, and my colleague Alina and Georgia will explain it to you later when they'll start saying about Romania and Bucharest. So, this was my part of the presentation to introduce you to Erasmus in Romania. I hope you've enjoyed it, and now I will let my colleague Alina to go further with her part of the presentation. Thank you very much.
Unde este? Pe...
Să fie rapid asta. Welcome to Bucharest. Okay, I'll try to explain a little bit about Bucharest, and I'll explain from the point of view of someone that came here to study as you, because I'm not from Bucharest. I came here 3 years ago, and I shared more or less the same perspective as you share now. But what's with the city? What's happening here? Why is it like this? Okay, and try to make the best out of your experience here. So the city is so a little bit divided into 6 districts. The people from Belvedere live here. The university is here. Okay. Long story made short. There were some Slavs that founded the city, and there's also a legend that came from Bucur, a shepherd that came here and he decided to settle down. And also Bucharest was first mentioned by Vlad Dracula. You heard about him. So he has also, in the legend, he has also an implication in the formation of the city. It was a very important city because due to the trade in Balkans, so everybody was passing here, coming here, they settled down. And also there was a period when it really, really developed. Go on. In that year, a fire destroyed a big part of the city. And for example, you can see Gara de Nord here, that is very, very old and looks old now also. And this is what I wanted to tell you, that Bucharest was called before Little Paris. It still keeps a little bit of this spirit, because you can see the pictures, like very elegant the buildings and everything looks so fancy, and people like walking on the street like this, and ladies and everything. So it really it was a little Paris from East. For example, you can see these pictures. This is Scala Victoriei, that is still very famous and was famous back then also. And this is the Arcana. And it's also very, very old and has something imposing from the way it looks. But anyway, you will see these buildings. Okay. During the Second World War, the city was bombed. So it was like afterward. So they really needed to rebuild the city. And also you can see now a very important reflection of the leadership of Ceausescu, that was our dictator, that built all these big blocks, big buildings, everything wanted to be big, because this was the trend in Eastern Europe. Like, okay, Bucharest, big and everything. And also, what I would like to say that in '77, an earthquake hit Bucharest, and you'll see some pictures to see how the buildings look like. For example, it looked like this. Many people died, they lost their houses and everything. So it was really, really devastating.
That's why the buildings are gray, and Ceausescu made them back.
Yeah. So when he built the buildings in the communist style. As you can see here, it's pretty creepy. I don't know, you can make a horror movie sometimes. And they look more or less like this, especially in the suburbs and also in the places close to the dormitory. And here are some facts. Bucharest is the 6th largest capital in UE. The Palace of Parliament is the 2nd largest building in the world, and you're going to see it today, so enjoy. It's twinned with 9 cities. And they put the horse buses, you know? The buses were like horses. It was like the first time that they did this, it was in Europe. And Lipskan, I guess you already know the place, comes from the city. Yes, I don't speak German, so I don't want to make a mistake. And yeah, so I didn't want to tell you so much about Bucharest because you'll have the opportunity to meet. Just keep in mind that it is like this because you can see like 3 different periods: before the communism, during the communism, and after. It's like a city that kept all its tradition, and I don't know, I had the same feeling when I came here. Everything was like, that's from another area, that's from another area. And it depends how you get attached to the city. And it's continually changing. As you can see, you can see like big buildings with offices and everything, but you can see all old buildings. And also what I really recommend you, especially in springtime, going to the parks that are very, very nice. So you have lakes and everything. And Bucharest just waits to be discovered, because you will see things that you might not see back home, with ups and downs, good things and bad things. So if you try to immerse into the city, you will understand more about it. So I really hope you're going to do that, because as you, I came here and I was just looking around and exploring everything. Make the best out of your experience.